Hi everyone, thank you very much for listening in. I'm Rachel, the Marketing Director at Redeye, and I'm going to go through with you all this idea of a price promotion exit strategy. And I'm going to look at it in the context of discounting. Now, I know as marketers, you can face this daily pressure to try and drive more and more purchases. And sometimes you can default to discounting in order to try and achieve those things. But if you're consistently pushing out discount codes and sales and promotions, then it can cheapen your brand value. Your customers can just start to expect it and even demand it. And then from a commercial point of view, its biggest impact is on profitability. Now, I'm hearing more and more marketers talk about profitability. It's really important for the longevity of a business, and we've seen far too many examples of really well-known retailers that have fallen recently. So there is this responsibility on the marketer to make sure they're acquiring as cheaply as they can, they're pushing the most cost-effective stock, and they're really driving the biggest customer lifetime value. And you can work hard on all of those things, but if you're using discounts, sales, and promotions to do it, then you are eating into your profit margin, and that doesn't help you keeping your finance director on side. Now, I know there are other things that build up into profitability. You can look at pricing and your margin on your stock, but for the context of today, I'm just looking at it in terms of how discounting can impact profitability. And the thing with discount codes is that they're not just one-off. As marketers, we use them over and over again. And here's some examples, come and shop with us for the very first time. Here's 10% off. Why not try another purchase? Here's 15% off. Well, wait a minute, it's your birthday. Here's 20% off. Oh my gosh, you haven't shopped with us in ages. Please come back. Here's 25% off. And as you can see, the discounts traditionally get higher and higher the more panicky a marketer can get in trying to go, oh, I need to recoup this customer back. There is the question in terms of, are you tempting the right people back? But we'll get onto that a little bit later. And this is all then discount codes, but there is also the idea of sales. Now, I know not every business takes part in Black Friday, but a lot of e-commerce brands do. And the thing is, once you've done it once, you have to consistently do Black Friday every year, and you have to pull out your biggest deals and promotions because your customers just start to expect it. And this is a tricky situation to be in. But you're not the only ones. Your customers are going to other brands and they're offering out prices and promotions too. And your competitors are too. But it's just, how do you manage this expectation from them? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't provide discount codes and do sales and promotions. There is a place for them. I just want to try and help you think about ways to think about using them more strategically and to the right sorts of people. And a way to do that is looking at this concept of a price promotion exit strategy. So there's three really high level areas that I'm going to talk through, and that's firstly defining loyalty, and then secondly looking at who and how price sensitive are your current customers, and then giving you some food for thought on some campaigns that you probably should and shouldn't use discount codes for, but also this idea of how personalized content could be a way to incentivize a purchase instead. And this is all really to help you think a little bit differently and see how you can drive more profitable marketing. But if we just look at customer behaviours first, so there is signs that the economy is improving, but customers are still feeling the pinch. And in this YouGov survey, where they asked a percentage of the UK population following the recent spring budget, what impact did they think that it was making on their financial situation? 58% said that it was making no difference. So that means they're still living through some form of cost of living crisis. Their financial situation has not improved. And if you include the 20% that also has then said they think they're going to be worse off, that's 78% of people are still making different purchasing decisions. And also in a Winning Back Loyalty DMA report that was released at the end of last year, that also states that 88% of the UK population are taking steps to address rising costs. Now, that could be small steps or it could be really dramatic changes to their purchasing. However, that's 88%. That is the vast majority. So I still very much believe that we are marketing to this cost of living crisis customer, somebody that, shops around, which means they're more brand promiscuous, which means they're less loyal and therefore more price sensitive. So I think this kind of showcases two really good areas, which is loyalty and price sensitivity. And I think they really should be areas that you view at your business. So we're going to dive a little bit more into those, and I'm going to pose some questions to you all to get you thinking. But hopefully, if you ask those questions at your own business, you should then be a bit better informed of when to give out incentives, monetary or not, to help you drive what I call profitable marketing to this cost of living crisis customer. So also, let's just clarify here that loyalty is still around, but it just needs to be thought about differently. So if your customers are changing how they define to be loyal, then actually as a business, we need to also sense check that definition. So the first question that you need to ask was, when did you last review what is your definition of a loyal customer? Are you still using an old definition, something that might have been created a couple of years ago, when the cost of living crisis started, or even 5 years ago, pre-COVID? And also you need to then think about what data points are you using to make that assessment. So, with that second question, are you using the right data points? In that same DMA loyalty report that I was referring to a few moments ago, it said that 78% of the population have reduced their frequency in purchases. So if you are using frequency as a definition to define loyalty at your business, then it could be painting a disappointing picture, but it also means you could be missing out on identifying potentially loyal cost of living crisis customers. Now, you may want to look at different data points, such as the average order value that they spend with you, or just simply look at their total lifetime purchases. And then the third point is looking at VIPs and loyalty. Now, I hear these being used so interchangeably. So it's just making sure at your business, are they two clearly different things? Is loyalty a broader, bigger segment and VIPs are your top? When you talk about loyalty, do you mean your VIPs? Whichever one it is, it's just making sure that you've got that clearly defined at your business. And now on to price sensitivity. And I think this is a really, really interesting topic to explore. So the first thing I think you need to look at is actually understanding how much of your current customer database then is price sensitive. And you can do that by really simply splitting it in two, looking at those that have never ever purchased at a cheaper price. So those that have never ever used a discount code or never purchased within a sale. And then everybody else is those that have done that at least once. So if you look at those that have never purchased with a code or within a sale, now that percentage might be really, really small in comparison to your customer database, but these are your profitable customers. You're not losing out on money to them. Could they therefore then be potentially your new VIPs? So because they've never purchased them within a sale or within a discount, they are showing no signs of being price sensitive. So you could argue in any of the campaigns or emails or whatever is sent to them, you don't need to put codes in there. And if you do, you're potentially losing money to those that actually have shown that they probably would purchase full price anyway. Everybody else that's purchased at least once is on that price sensitivity scale. But then it's understanding whereabouts on that scale are they. So that's then looking at how many times have they purchased at a cheaper rate in comparison to their total purchases. So for example, if somebody's purchased with you 10 times and every single one of those times has used a discount code, they are showing signs to be very price sensitive and probably always will be. So they probably always will need that incentivized monetary nudge through a code or a discount or a promotion. Whereas if somebody's only purchased 2 or 3 times out of 10 through a discount code in a sale, they're showing signs to be less price sensitive. So there may be other ways that you can try and encourage or incentivize a purchase and don't always have to put a discount code. And some of those ways we'll cover a little bit later on. There's also that element then thinking about, did they purchase within a sale or using a discount code? Because they actually are different buying behaviours. If somebody's purchased within a sale, then they are specifically waiting for a cheaper price. That means they are very price sensitive. Whereas if they've used a discount code, they can often come out of the blue. So those purchases could be more impulse purchases. So again, there may be other ways that you could use to try and incentivize a purchase rather than always thinking about defaulting to a discount code. So we've just looked at loyalty and price sensitivity, and that's to try and help show you maybe who you can identify as valuable, who you can identify as profitable, and who should and who shouldn't potentially have discount codes. But now I'm going to go through some more practical sort of campaign and personalization ideas with you all. So if we firstly look at two key life cycle journey campaigns, so that's looking at VIPs and lapsing, and they're traditionally where discount codes can be used quite heavily. So if we start by looking at VIPs, a really controversial question that I'm going to ask you all is, should VIPs even be given any discount codes? And the reason that I say that is that these are your biggest fans. They're the most engaged with you. They're really, really loyal with you. You're probably in their top favorite brands, if not their top brand. So they're probably going to purchase with you no matter what. So by giving them discount codes and money off, you're potentially losing revenue again to customers that actually might have just been prepared to pay full price. Now, there does need to be some value exchange so you can show them and that you appreciate their loyalty. It's a relationship. They're giving you money, what they want something back. But just think about all the other ways that could potentially be used. If you have a loyalty program, giving them points and points and prizes, people love that gamification element where they can build up lots of points. And points don't need to always be redeemed as pounds. You can think of lots of other ways that you could show them that you care. And a really big trend in loyalty for 2024 is experiential rewards. So allow them to redeem it for giveaways and competitions, whether that's meet and greets, whether that's travel food experiences. That could be one element, but if not, also just think about the experience that they get with you as a brand. Can you offer them VIP next day before 12 delivery? Can they have a dedicated VIP customer service line? Whatever it might look like for your business, is trying to think about alternative ways rather than just defaulting to always giving them money off. The second one then is lapsing. So this is traditionally where discount codes are used to really draw somebody back that you've lost, and it's a real big factor of trying to tempt them to purchase again. The first question that you should look at is actually, are you tempting back the right people by just giving discount codes to anybody who gets that campaign? Are you tempting back those that are most loyal based off your definition earlier, and also hopefully those that are not price sensitive? Because you could argue, if somebody's always purchased with you with a discount code, do you want to bring them back as a customer? Are they profitable for you? And here again, it's thinking about, are there other ways that you could use to try and persuade that purchase? And I think, really looking at the data that you hold on somebody and using that to sort of personalize the content within the lapsing campaign can be another area to test instead. So for example, you will have all of their past data. You'll be able to understand what they like, what they dislike, any brands, any preferences that they have. So what you could easily do is just show them what they've missed since their last purchase. What new ranges, what new products, what new services do you have out, and really push on that FOMO. Fear of missing out is such a really big emotional driver that could really help you win over a purchase without just kind of throwing out discount codes to everybody. So another set of campaigns to look at is what I call your behavioural campaigns. And three really, really key ones are your abandon series, your wish list, and your back in stock. Now with all three of those, your customers are showing you intent to buy. Now with your wish list, they're saying, these are all the things that I would love to get. With back in stock, they're explicitly saying, tell me when I can buy this again. And then with your abandon journeys, they've gone all the way to the basket, but most likely something's just distracted them, whether that's got to go and pick the kids up from school, got to get back off, to work from their lunch break, whether they've just got off the bus or the train, whatever it may be. Quite often it can be a distraction for the reasons that somebody leaves something in their basket. But with all of those, what I would encourage trying first is just a reminder nudge versus always doing an incentive nudge. Going back to what I was saying earlier in terms of customers are starting to expect these things, they can be quite savvy and they'll put things in their basket and leave them just to see if that retailer will trigger them a discount code. But with your abandons, for example, again, utilize the other behavioral data that you might have. If you can see that somebody's abandoned the basket and also looked at the delivery pages, then that might be the blocker that's stopping them purchase. So offer them free delivery instead of always defaulting to a discount code. And actually even go a step further and look what is most cost effective for your business. So if you know they've got a basket size of £70, and you have the option of giving them a 10% code or free delivery, but your free delivery is only a couple of pounds, it makes more cost effective sense for you to offer that out. So it's also looking at that behavioural data that you might have. But with these then, if you do need to offer a discount code, make sure that it's in the third or the fourth email in that journey. So yes, if you just have one abandoned basket email, that needs to be part of a journey. Because if somebody's going to purchase, they'll purchase with you after that first email. So save your discount codes for those that really need persuading, that maybe, are opening that third or fourth email. And now I'm going to run through 5 ideas to wrap us up in terms of how personalisation could be used to try and incentivise a purchase versus always going through a discount code. So the first one to look at is really using that average order value. So if you know that my average order value is around £25, then it makes more sense for you to show me products that are more in line with my budget, and that's going to more likely make me purchase, rather than showing me products that are £100 plus that probably I won't ever be able to afford. So it's using average order value to really clearly show products that are more likely in that customer's budget range. The second one then is generational personalization, and this is so underutilized at the moment, but every generation has really different likes, dislikes, and they value different things, and so different content and messaging could persuade one generation to purchase over another. So we know that Gen X and baby boomers are really quite price sensitive generations. They have lots more outgoings, whereas your Gen Z and your millennials, they really like more service-based messages. They're interested in sustainability and community. Who else is using this product or service? So it really is as simple as dialing up and dialing down those different messages, which you can really simply use by using dynamic content in your email. So you're sending one campaign out and it could look really different to any person that opens it. So really utilizing different content and different USPs that could kind of persuade different generations to make that purchase. The third one then is send time optimization. So if you can apply this send time model and look to see when usually does that customer purchase, and make sure that your campaigns are sent out to them at the time that they're most likely to going to engage with you. The fourth one is really don't underestimate the power of your customers to drive purchases. So especially some of the younger generations that I was just talking about, they really value, other customers, that community feel. They want to know and they trust other customers in terms of guiding them on where and what they should purchase. So really utilizing some of those reviews that you have and really key campaigns like in your browsing campaigns. The final one, we can't do a marketing presentation these days without talking about AI. So this is then where you can look again at sort of predictive models that you can overlay onto your customer database. Let them do the hard work for you. They will look and analyze all of the customer behaviors, signs and signals that are going on, and then tell you this pot of people are really showing signs. We predict that they will be making a purchase soon. Then all you need to do is send a campaign to them to trigger that purchase. Save your discount codes for everybody else that really isn't showing any signs or signals that they're looking to purchase soon, so you can drive that impulse with that group. Now, I've gone through obviously ideas on ways that you should or shouldn't use discount codes, but I think just to finally end on, if you do really want to use discount codes, make sure that they're unique. They are far more easily to manage, and then also you can manage how many different codes an individual customer has, and it just helps you with less code wastage essentially. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. So hopefully I've given you a lot of food for thought in terms of some ideas or some questions to ask of your business to really help you pull together this price promotion exit strategy. And with everything, it's all around testing what is right for your business. But thank you all very much for listening.